saying things like, I'm the snakiest islander on a podcast. I know she hasn't photoshopped them because I've seen them. So that is when I spoke up and was like, listen, I've seen them.
But I think if Grace wasn't there, he would go on for you.
And that is a big lump of my hate right now because they're like, you lied on national TV, da-da-da-da-da. My eyes in that evening was so swollen.
Hello and welcome back to the podcast. I'm Liam. This is Millie. Today's not just any episode. We have a very special guest. It is the lovely, lovely Samie.
Samie! Hi! Hi!
Samie, thank you for coming on.
No, thanks for having me.
You two actually saw each other last week, didn't you?
Yeah.
We did indeed. No,
Yeah.
on Saturday.
Last week.
Yes, was it last week?
Last week. It's a new week now. So you caught up with the Brits, didn't you?
Yes.
We did indeed.
How was the Brits?
It was so good.
It
Did we
was,
have the
wasn't
best
it?
time?
Went with Garnier and Maybelline. But there was actually so many of us.
So many. Like, we filled up 2 boxes.
Yeah.
There were so many of us.
And it was all girls. I think Liam was a bit fuming that he wasn't invited.
I know, I was.
And we were
I was
like,
thinking
it's a makeup
about it.
box, babe.
Yeah.
That's why you
I
weren't
would
there.
have come. I would have
If
come.
you do,
Oh.
glam on Instagram like that, maybe you would have been invited.
Well, I did
Yeah.
just. They decided to put a bit of powder on my face, so I would say I'm a bit of
Powder
a.
your face,
No,
yeah.
I'm not claiming that. Don't invite me to the makeup brand, so I will not be promoting that or wearing it. But yeah, you both look great. It looked like you had fun. I feel like a lot went down with the Brits.
So obviously at the Brits, we was in a box with Molly, Gabby and Georgia Harrison, wasn't we?
Harrison, yeah.
Out of the Love Island girls.
Yeah.
And I think it was like on TikTok, it went a bit viral. Did you see about you
Yes.
and Molly? Like,
yeah, I posted the TikTok.
oh, of course you
yeah, have
did.
you not seen it yet?
Was I really drunk?
No, you were good. You were fine. It's got like 2 million views.
Really?
It's gone mental.
Why? Because
And everyone's so at the minute my TikTok comments are on review because of all
What?
the horrible people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm just like
Oh, right.
accepting all the good ones.
Yeah.
But on that there was not one bad comment. It was all like, oh my God, I can't believe Samie and Molly are seen together. Like it shows a lot about their characters.
nice.
Like they're such nice girls. Which we like I obviously don't know Molly, I've never met her before in my life. And we met and we just got along like a house on fire.
That's nice.
She is the
That's so nice. I
loveliest
suppose you've got
girl.
nothing to
Of
know
course,
against
yeah.
her.
And like I think she felt a little bit awkward and I was a bit anxious as well. And I was just so happy that it was fine. Like
Yeah.
when I got on the bus.
Yeah.
Like I got on the bus and then as I've sat down, like I'm literally facing Molly and I was
Had
like,
not
oh.
even said hello by this point.
Yeah, I hadn't said hello because
No.
I hadn't seen her.
No.
And then we was on the bus and it was just, we were fine.
So fine, wasn't
yeah.
it?
So I was like, I'm not going to be like...
There's no
awkward
need, though, is
or
it?
rude
Like,
to-
you're a
yeah,
lovely girl. She's
to
a nice
anyone,
girl.
yeah. Yeah, and it's
There's
got
no beef.
like, yeah, we've got the same...
But people, it's funny,
Yeah,
the
it's
audience
fine.
expects it to be something like
They do.
issues, but when you show us, no, we're literally fine.
Yeah.
Just need to get you and Grace to get TikTok together now. Now get about 10 million views.
Obviously, Grace was in our boxes as well.
Well, she wasn't in our box. She was in the box.
Oh, the other
Yeah, we didn't
box.
even see her.
Yeah,
Apart
no.
from the time when we went into a different... But there was lots of boxes going on. Until we went into a different box.
But you did speak to her. Was that?
I did speak. I did speak to her just because I basically said that I didn't appreciate that she called me the snakiest islander on the podcast.
Oh,
that
did
she
you
went
say
on.
that?
Yeah.
That's not nice.
No, I just said to her like, I honestly, if you felt like I've done, like I haven't done anything in my eyes to you.
Yeah.
And it was just about the messages and stuff. And I was like, listen, like I was saying what I've seen.
Yeah.
She agreed that she didn't think that Liv had photoshopped them or anything like that. Which I was like,
Oh,
oh,
that's good.
okay, well, like,
Yeah.
can you tell everyone else that? Because I just
Yeah.
knew what Liv was going through and what I was going through as well. And I was like, it just wasn't nice.
Oh, so she fully knows about the hate then that you've been.
She fully knows about the hate,
Yeah.
but she didn't apologise for calling me the snakiest. She just said that's how I felt. So we just kind of left it as that.
I think that's fine, though.
okay.
Like, you're going to
Yeah,
leave it
you're
at
going to
that.
agree to disagree.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't change someone's opinion of me, like no matter what I do. And like that's not what like I tried to do. I was just hearing her out and seeing why she said that because I
Yeah.
was genuinely confused.
But I suppose that did you feel a bit of like? Did you feel good after it that you had sort of not squashed it, but like, or did you think, oh, what's even the point anymore?
Yeah, it just kind of got left as just a. Well,
and-
we got kicked out the box. we got told to leave because it was in our box, so then it was just kind of cut short in that way. But
And hung over the next
We
day.
were strong.
I was. Did you see my Snapchats in the morning?
Yeah.
Samie, I got you on Snapchat, and I feel like you post like 1 million snaps a day. Like, I remember when you came off Love
I
Island,
know.
and I wanted to like see what you're up to when you're out there, and you were just like getting ready for like 10
No,
hours.
you
And
know
record
how
your
many
thing.
steps I've taken in the day if you watch my steps.
I think
So
you know,
bad.
fair play to you, but I was like, I just want to see what you guys are up to. So I was like, just tip on tapping.
No.
And it was just going through you getting ready, and it's good. But obviously, Love Island round 2. We're going to speak about this throughout the podcast.
Yes.
It didn't go quite the same as the first time, but
No.
we'll go back to the start. How did you come to go on the second one? Did they approach you, I'm assuming?
Yes. So they approached me originally for the first All Stars.
Yeah.
But I was in a relationship.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. But it was like early days. So I actually accepted it. And I was like, gonna do it. But then I was upset for like 5 days because I really liked my ex at the time. And then we got together and I was like, yeah, no, I don't want to do it. And then I turned it down.
What, like right last minute?
Right last minute. Like it was like a month before the show was airing. And
So
I was like,
they asked you the
no.
early days of you being with your ex.
Yeah, it was like November time.
In hindsight, you wish you went on it?
No, I don't. I feel like I learned a lot from that past lovely relationship.
Yeah.
No, I learned a lot from that. I wouldn't change anything, and it clearly wasn't my time.
Yeah.
Not to say round 2 was my time because
Oh no! Oh, don't say that. So was it on the first time? Did you know when they were going to put you in? Because if you said that you sort of got to like right final moments, was you meant to be an OG or a bombshell then, or did they not tell you?
They said early bomb.
Oh, they did.
Said early bombshell. Yeah.
Did they say that for round 2?
Yes, they said that for round 2, but then they obviously
they lied. Didn't they? It was late
They
bombshell.
lied. Yeah, they lied.
You should have been starting lineup or like early bombshell.
No, it would have been quite nice to do starting lineup this time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I did say in my interview, like, I want to be a bombshell just because I love that whole, like, you're coming in, like, it's quite exciting.
Do you
You
not
get
get
to watch
nervous?
it. No, not really. I feel like your nerves just kind of
came in on
take
your
over and then
own.
it's just like confident. I know, I came in on my own.
I feel like you smashed it when you come in, though. You come in like...
Yeah, you just seem so chill.
Yeah, 'cause-
No, you should have saw me at the door. I was like, I don't want to do it. I walked out like 3 times.
Did you?
The producers were like, Samie, come on. I was like, I'm really nervous. Like, I'm really scared. And then they was like, just go. And then as soon as you walk out, that was fine.
And you went into like all the guys then. You had to like... I think sitting there with a bunch of people around you, like the opposite sex, is intimidating. Like you got to sort of hold your own. Like Chugs had to go and meet all the girls. About 8 girls went surrounding him. And I was like, fair play. And like, Samie done the same thing.
You seemed on telly that you were confident and that you were quite like chill with it.
I think you
Mate,
went,
it was so awkward at
something like that.
times.
wasn't it?
I was like, you look bored. You don't look bored. I was like, what's happening? I was like, oh no. And I watched it back. But no, like when we were sitting there, like there were loads of awkward silences. And I was like,
Really?
Yeah.
they were all just staring at me like I was a
And then you
ghost.
have to
And I was
control the
like,
conversation, but actually like...
a little bit, but they weren't giving me nothing. They
No,
were just like
They weren't.
speechless.
I
They were
felt
like,
that was frustrating.
and I was like, speak.
Because
like,
you,
we're
where you
humans.
came in so late though, that I think that at that point, they're all a little bit scared to like explore because they're like so set when they're couples. And I think that do you think that they are thinking about the final at that point and like, I don't want to like switch
Probably,
roles
yeah.
here.
Yeah, it was like 2 weeks left.
Like that.
And like even some of the couples were only like 3 days old in there. But still it's like we got 2 weeks left now.
We
Like
need
you're
to
kind of
confirm
like
it.
yeah.
They brought you in at the wrong time completely.
Yeah,
wrong time.
I think so. I think they did. But like also like obviously everyone's saying I had one guy on my radar. Well, yeah, I did at that point, just because everyone else had bloody left.
Yeah.
Like I actually had a few people, yeah.
Can
and then
do you
they
want to
had all
say who
left.
or no?
I could say one, like Scott was on my radar. And then when I saw him leave, I was like, brilliant.
Now who?
I was like, great. And then I got in there and you have to pull everyone for a chat. Because you know as bombshells, like you have to, like, it is like the Love Island law as a bombshell. You have to chat to every single person of the opposite
Even if
sex.
you don't want to speak to... Like,
Even if you don't fancy them, even if you don't like them, you've got to talk to everyone in a flirty like way. So that night, I'd done all my chats.
Not any connection with anyone other than Luca.
No, but then
not even a connection really there.
That's what I discovered. There was no connection with him. And then I was
Really?
like, oh no. I was like, what? And that wasn't got nothing to do with what he was giving me. Because at that point it was very mysterious. Like no one was really saying if they were interested or closed off or nothing. No one was giving nothing. Apart from Ronnie, he was like, I'm in love. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm very happy for you.
Yeah.
But then, yes. And then I was just making up my own mind. And then I thought, I went to bed that night and I was like, oh no, I don't like anyone.
Yeah.
Really? So then at that point then you're probably a little bit like worried, like what the do I even do
Hoping
here?
someone comes through the doors.
Oh yeah,
Who's your
but then
type?
the next day I was so upset. It was like my first day. I was so upset. I was literally outside crying all day to the producers. But when I say all day, I mean all day. Because I was like, what am I doing here? I was like, I don't like anyone. Like, is there any other bombshells coming in? And they kind of told me, but not told me, that I was the last bombshell to walk in.
No way.
And then I was like, oh, this is just long. So now I knew that I was just going to be used to like mess with couples.
Yeah. What was the girls like towards you? Because I know I was a girl as well going in as a bombshell, and I was really worried about sort of the welcoming from them. And there was a few on my season that didn't welcome me. Yeah. I was stealing Liam as well. So it was like really awkward. So was there girls that was really rooting for you and like there for you? Did you feel like you had someone?
Yeah. I did have girls in there. Elma, she was amazing to me. Gabby was unbelievable. Like, nice. She's so lovely. So like, I did have girls in there that like would clock that I was upset, that they clocked that I was outside all day. Some of the girls have claimed that they didn't realise, but when someone's not in this little house that we all live in,
you realise.
You do wonder where they are. Yeah. And plus it was very telling. My eyes in that evening were so swollen.
Well, I was watching, I was like, your eyes, I said, right, Samie had some work done, which has gone wrong.
What did you say?
Samie had some work done, which has gone like...
Everyone said this over Botox. Can I also just clarify, I haven't had Botox. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I haven't had it.
Yeah.
I had it in my master, that's it, for stop grinding my teeth. I was actually crying all day.
Well, I could feel that. And I said, this is going shit for Samie.
I think watching it too, I could, around that time after everything happened, obviously I know you and I felt like you weren't being you, and I was like, no, something's up.
Yeah.
Like, you seemed down, you know?
Yeah, it was
obviously
difficult.
It was
hell in there.
Oh, bless you, don't.
No, it was just, I just felt super uncomfortable. Obviously, I didn't like anyone. So it was like when you're being told to have chats with... But everyone knew this in the villa, right? So this was kind of my thing when I came out, when everyone came out and people are saying... Like, or even in the show when people are like, she's trying to steal someone's man or steal my man or do this or do that. Everyone knew I weren't. I was probably the worst bombshell in history. Like, I didn't pull
you weren't.
That person for one other chat, like at all. I didn't tread on toes. I cried when I broke up a couple and it wasn't even my fault because it was the public. I was crying for them. But then I was being told that, I bet she's buzzing. And I just saw all these mean things that were being said about me, and I was like, oh my God, but I've been so nice, and like I am nice, not like I'm
such
just
a nice girl. You are, and you're a girl's girl as well. Like you're just in general, really nice person.
Yeah,
I think what was frustrating to watch was you came in, you had this like. You said you had on Luca, but then from there it looked like they were in the villa. They were trying to make out as if you were making this massive thing of it, but you wasn't. You literally said you like Luca. You had one chat with him. The public chose you to go on a date. The public chose you to couple up, I think, wasn't it? So then they are seeing it. That's out your control.
He done that in the challenge.
But then I think,
he done that to you. So actually,
he made the public make their decision. I felt like, right, it's so mad. I just felt like a little puppet or like a little pawn, and I just got put in between these people's situation every day.
From not even your choice.
And I was like, I don't even want to do it. I was sitting there like, it's quite funny because Casey would be like to me, so like, what are you going to do today? I'm like, nothing. He's like, you're going to talk to? I was like, no one. I was like, I'm just going to chill with the girls and like enjoy it. And I was trying to do that, but then I was just getting constantly put in this drama that I had no control over of. And the only thing I had control over of was the Stog, Marry, Pie challenge.
Oh yeah, and what did you do again?
I pied Luca instead of kissing him.
Oh, you did, yeah.
So if I really wanted this guy, I don't know.
You would have kissed him.
I would have kissed him.
We're going to go on to the rest of the Luca stuff.
Yeah.
But how long was you actually in the villa for? And how long was you actually out in...
So can we get someone to calculate that? Because I'm not sure. If it's like 3 days.
You was out there for a good month.
5 days. Oh.
How long was you out in South Africa for?
Oh, I was out there for 10 days before I went in. And then I was out there from when I came out into the final. I was out there for like a month. Yeah.
And did you obviously had your phone because I was texting you, but like,
yes,
at what point?
But no one knew I had my phone.
Oh, you couldn't.
So only
post
like my
online.
friends knew. Yeah, my friends knew I had my phone. My social media was still getting managed, like semi-managed.
And you were pretending to be back home, weren't you? You're posting stuff from back in the UK, I'm sure. Was
Before?
You?
No, I was just posting like as if I was. Well, no, I weren't posting. My management was posting for me,
as if you're back in the UK.
Third person stuff.
Yeah.
So they were doing it for me. Because I at this point, I was like, I can't even be asked to even go on social media.
Yeah.
I was like, it's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
But I was texting like you, my friends and stuff. And then,
So how long was you actually in the villa for, though?
I think I went in on a Monday and I was out by the Thursday.
Really?
Or the Friday.
Oh, right, fine, yeah.
Quick
So
stopping.
literally
Yeah.
in and out.
But I feel like I came in and there was like a tornado and then I left.
But then you went back in at the end, though, to do that.
Oh, yeah, and then the tornado.
The tornado literally rear-eyed.
God.
What was the sort of like most outrageous thing that happened in the villa while you were there? Like the most
most outrageous thing.
Which the point, if it was like really outrageous, would have aired, but stuff way more behind the scenes.
The most outrageous thing
So
that wasn't aired.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of stuff like gets shown, like the main stuff, and stuff happens behind the scenes. You're like,
there was an
cameras.
argument on ours between the girls
that didn't get aired
in like at bedtime, but it was on an off day, so the girls were sharing a bed and the boys whatever, and we had a row, and obviously that didn't get aired. Like, so did anything like that happen?
Not when I was actually in there, but I heard that stuff like that had happened when I wasn't in. Yeah, so like arguments at lunchtime, but then they couldn't run with the narrative anymore because it didn't get aired. So like if like couples were arguing. And it was like, well, we can't air this because this doesn't make sense because you just had this argument at lunch. This is why they keep boys and girls separate. When I was in there, really weird. I don't know why they done it, but there were 4 tables.
Really?
So the boys had 2 tables and the girls had 2 tables. So I didn't think that helped with the divide with the girls because there was clearly girls that weren't fond of me.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I don't think it was because they weren't fond of you. They think you just taking Grace's side, you know?
Yeah, probably. But then I always made like... I feel like in that situation, like, okay, cool, yeah, I was a bombshell and I had a job and I had to do what I had to do.
Yeah.
But I didn't do anything.
No, but like you didn't.
I didn't even do my job.
Yeah.
Like I didn't actually do it this time round. I don't know. I ran out of momentum. I couldn't be asked, and I can't fake it. So if I didn't like someone, I couldn't fake it. But I felt like I made that quite clear. And even like when the public thing happened, I made sure that Luca was okay and Grace was okay.
Exactly.
But Luca made sure I was okay. To be fair, that was quite nice of him. And I was sitting with Curtis and I was talking to Curtis. He came over, he was like, are you okay? I was like, yeah, I just feel bad.
That's the gentleman thing to do.
Yeah, which was actually quite nice. Yeah. It's probably like the first thing he ever said to me.
Yeah, because I remember the scene and you were like, are you just really going to be weird with me? Like, because no, there's nothing here. Like, are you going to just ignore me this whole time? Or like, can we just be civil?
Yeah, and I didn't want there to be that, because now you're making it a thing. There is no thing here. But like, you know, like when you walk into the bathroom and say, for example, if we're in the villa together, you two are together, but me and Liam are cool and we're friends.
Yeah.
I would walk to the bathroom, I'd be like, oh, what's happening, Liam? Or you high five, or you like, as you're walking around the villa, like you do funny stuff. Like I was doing that with Ronnie, Casey, like, and I was like, please don't be awkward. I was like, because I just feel awkward as it is, and I can't have you being awkward as well. It's a lot.
I'm going to ask you a couple of your honest opinions on food of the couples.
Okay.
What about Gabby and Casey? You like them?
Gabby and Casey, yes, I do. I do really like them.
It seemed like you and Casey, considering like you're really good friends with Tom and your ex, it's really got on quite well, you and Casey.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I was a bit nervous about that. I was a bit like apprehensive, because I was like, oh, I don't know how he's going to be with me. But I have seen Casey like in the street and stuff. Like he's been like on a line bike before in Chelsea, and then I've just bumped into him, and he's gone, oh no, you look great. Where's the matter? And and to be fair, he really had my back. Even when I left.
That's nice.
Like when I watched it back, he really actually had my back with stuff, which is really nice.
And I suppose Gabby would have talked really highly of you. And you know.
That's good. What about Ekin and Curtis? I feel like they would like, at one minute I loved watching them, and the next minute I was like, get off my screen.
Oh my God.
Because like they were like,
it was the theatre was.
They were so cringy. It was nice, but they were like, I was like, what's going on? Like, I felt like they were in private, and I was like perving on their conversations, like, like stuff they were saying is like you'd say in private, and like we were watching it.
It's really funny because when you're in there, so I get what you mean when I was watching it, because you see their little conversations, you're like, what is going on? Like you feel like you're just in some like weird world when you watch them together. It's amazing, but
they seem
weird
so
at the same
suited
time.
though.
They are so suited.
Oh, that's nice.
And in there, they're like, they're normal. Like, and
they all
just
over
kind of
each
obsessed
other.
with each other. Yeah, it's actually really nice. And Ekin was so lovely.
Oh, that's nice.
Was she nice?
Yeah, because she's such a strong character. I was a bit scared to be in there with her as well, and she had my back so much. She's like the ultimate bombshell. She's like, babe, remember who you are. You are Samie. Like she gave me all these speeches, and I'm like, she went through one ear and out the other.
What about Samie and Elma? Do you think they? Obviously, it's a big age gap between them, isn't there?
I actually feel like they will probably last the longest.
Really? Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I really do.
So you don't think the age gap's a problem then?
Not at all.
No.
I really don't see it.
I feel like he
at
came
all.
across quite mature and like.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it was an age difference between them both.
And Elma's like a big kid at heart. Like she's also a mum. It's weird. Like she done all the washing up. She made sure everyone was okay. When my eyes were so puffy, bless her, she was icing my eyes for like 45 minutes. She was like, we need to get these down.
Because I didn't know it was come across because she got voted like the favourite girl, and then all of a sudden she was doing a couple of rogue certain.
I know.
People's opinions really switched up.
Yeah, they switched up on her. And I think
I know.
how she had like much hate after she came out.
Yeah, I think she has, bless her. But she's a strong girl. And also everyone just needs to remember, like, it's a show.
100%.
It's a show. So like every like really mad, angry thing that she said, okay, yeah, she said it and you can't take it back. And some of the things, maybe it was heat of the moment stuff. But when you're in there, you feel like you're going a bit mad anyway. But
do you feel like you've been getting hate since the show? Like how are you dealing with that?
Yeah. So when I first came out, it was lovely, like loads of love and stuff like that. And then when I came out again, like officially came out when I had my phone back properly, and I came back to the UK, it was just all rolled up again. And then also recently, because people have gone on podcasts and spoken and stuff like, now it's just all rolled up again. And it is like, wow. I
think it's not nice though, because I think in people's eyes, you were trying to break Luca and Grace up, but you wasn't. And I think everyone got to go on and do their own thing. Like even when I kissed that Lily, sorry to bring it up, but when I kissed Lily during Castle Moore, people like give her loads and loads of hate, which wasn't fair at all.
Yeah.
And like she had to go on and she had to find a connection. She's not going to go on and think, right, I'm not going to go for those two. I'm just going to ruin my.
Yeah, of course.
You have to go after what you want.
Everyone's got to do their own thing.
Yeah, and like especially in Castle Moore, you got to get she thinking to get in the main villa. I think she had so much hate, which was like not nice at all. So I think this is something similar for you as well. Like in people's minds, you're trying to break up the couple, and
especially because they're still together now, so they're like they've probably got a really big fan base of them
they
too.
do,
so
they're like a team, which is nice. But like I wouldn't, no matter how I got treated in the situation, and no matter what they've said about me on like podcasts and stuff, which hasn't really been nice. I would never do that to anyone. Like I wouldn't wish what I got in the last week on my worst enemy.
Oh, definitely
like it's not nice.
Definitely not.
And we're all in the same industry, so I just wish that instead of just riling them up, instead of doing it more, just why don't you just say like, these are your fans anyway, so just say, guys, like it's okay. Like you support us, but you don't need to hate on anyone else.
Yeah,
maybe they're not know. They're not seeing it. Well, no, because you're probably being tagged. Are you?
Yeah, massively. Yeah,
I remember you getting it. Like, and
everyone knows.
Still gets it.
They definitely know. But like saying things like, "I'm the snakiest islander" on a podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just not.
That's not nice, especially because you've had a lot of hate already. It's just like adding fuel.
In what way?
Fuel to the fire.
I just
You came in because you were a bombshell, and he DM'd you before, and that's got about the DMs.
From like the next day, I knew this is going to become a thing.
Yeah.
And we're just going to be talking about it every day. And I'm like, oh, please, it's so boring. I like discovered that I don't really
even like you like that.
Yeah, like nice boy, not for me.
Yeah.
That was it. And I just knew that straight away. And I was like, okay, fine.
And now you're caught up in all this fucking drama.
Oh my God, yeah, honestly.
For what?
I've got so many guys in my DM saying happy birthday.
Did you?
Still now, I get like 5 a day.
No way.
And they're like, you don't reply to DMs, or you should reply to me. And I'm like, oh mate, I wish I just didn't say anything. I honestly do.
Oh my God.
But that was another thing, right? So everyone in the villa knew that I weren't talking about it that much because we all live together. So you all know that I'm not gassed over these messages and we're not talking about them all the time. I'm getting prodded by everyone to speak about it, as that's how the show works, and that's fine. It's a TV show.
Yeah.
That was another thing that was spoken about on the recent podcast. Like they were kind of taking the mick about how much I spoke about the DMs, but it's only because they've come out and seen all these edits that people who don't like me have made. Yeah. And I'm like, don't carry it on. Like, don't ride it up because you know I'm not like that, and you know I weren't talking about it all the time. So it's just, one, it's embarrassing. And it's just that a bit.
We all know full well though, like what the producers do and how the TV show works. So it's like,
we touched upon this the other week, and like,
we know how it works.
Love Island's a TV show. Like the people are real, everything in there is real. But if it was up to the islanders, everybody would just be relaxing, sunbathing, and it'd be
there
very,
wouldn't
very
be any
boring.
drama because who can be asked?
It'd be no show. So the producers have to create certain scenarios where you put you in uncomfortable positions. You might say things you wouldn't normally say because you wouldn't be in that position.
Yeah.
But you're in unnatural situations and you would act out and which you would normally act in some ways.
Yeah.
People always say he's scripted. It's not scripted.
No, you just get like topics and maybe like pods. So they'll be like, Samie, go and talk to Liam about him and Millie's argument last night or something like that. Do you know what I mean? And it would be like, okay, then you're talking about it. Or
Did you ever say no? Like, no, I don't want to do that.
On the first day when I was crying all day and they were asking me to speak to Luca, I said, no, I don't want to. I said, I'm not into him. And they was like, you have to speak to someone. So choose. And then I chose Omar because it was just like a chill chat. That was the only time I was aired on that day. And I think I was laying on the sofa and they got me there. But it was bad.
But Liv has had some stick, haven't she, off these... the fake text or screenshots thing. I think that was Mitch, wasn't it? Mitch made them up or something, didn't he?
Well, yeah, Mitch has made up something because he said he really wanted Gabby and Casey to win the show. So he made up these receipts like after begging to get the real ones that haven't been put out there. Like after begging to get the real ones, he's now made up these fake ones and they've just circulated everywhere. And that is a big lump of my hate right now because they're like, you lied on national TV, da-da-da-da-da. Like, one, I wasn't I didn't stand up and say like, I've got these and da-da-da-da. I know for a fact that Liv did not Photoshop and create these messages herself.
Right.
And so that is why I said, like, that's why I stuck up for her in that time because I knew, like, I'd seen, like, I knew. So then...
But you wasn't actively going then saying, I've got these screenshots, you just backing up what Liv said, because she was having loads of stick when she ran the fire pit.
Yeah, like, there was like
what did you say?
4 people on her. I said, we've seen her.
So,
Because...
But you have seen something,
You've seen these messages, but you don't know whether they're forged or not. So you've just gone... Or
but then, but
again, it comes back to it's making out that, like, people see that and the way it's edited as well. It looks then like you're just trying to, like, come at Grace and Luca when
of course
you're probably not.
When what they didn't see was when I stood up and I voted the least compatible couple, I was standing up for like 10 minutes and I was being pushed by we call it the VOG, the voice of God, to speak about the couple sitting down, which is speak about Grace and Luca, of course. They just wanted to also obviously run with this narrative that I hate them and I want to break them up and he should be with me.
So unfair on you.
Yeah, but I refused. That's what I refused to do. I said, I'm not saying anything else, so I sat down. But then when I'm seeing Olivia get attacked saying she's 30, she needs to get a job, she's probably photoshopped these herself. I know she hasn't photoshopped them because I've seen them. So that is when I spoke up and was like, listen, I've seen them. But I don't actually think
it's a bad thing to say.
I don't think it's a bad thing to say. I honestly don't. And I'll say that to Grace. Like, I'll say, I'll be a hypocrite if I said it's a bad thing to say because 2 years ago when I went on Chloe's podcast, probably got loads of hate again for saying it again, but I got loads of stick for saying that I went on to Love Island for the experience, not for love.
Yeah.
Same.
But I was,
But didn't we all?
I was
we
actually
don't, love
sitting
is
next
a
to Tom
bonus.
when I said it. Yeah, exactly. I was like, I went on for the experience, not for love, but then I fell in love, so it was like...
Exactly.
Great. That's all we hope, but you can't guarantee it.
No.
You can't guarantee you're going to find someone that you love or even like.
Yeah.
So what do you go on for? Because it's Love Island. I want to go on holiday for 6 weeks, like, at the most, if I can.
Yeah.
And because it's the most craziest thing you'll probably ever do in your life. Why would you say no to that experience?
Exactly.
And if you win money off the back of it as well.
Only money.
If we broke
and
up...
if you win another tick.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
In a different world, if I was going on Love Island again, I would say, I'm going to win. I don't give a like, I won the first time. If I'm going again, I'm trying to win again. Like, I want that 25.
I want to win with you.
I want that 25 grand again, please. And I want to win again. So anything less is not going to be as good.
I just think.
But if I find someone, then amazing. But also, in the back of my mind, I want to get as far as I can.
Yeah.
Everyone does. Everyone does. Swift Grace did say that's nothing wrong with that at all.
I honestly, listen, I don't fault her in any way, shape or form. There is no bad blood there. I just didn't like some of the stuff she said about me and like some of the things that I saw when I watched it back, and I just thought that's a bit mean. Like, I wasn't mean about you at any point, and I will
on the
forever
show
not be. Yeah, like
really?
Just like little things, and I was like, everyone knew how upset I was. Not putting out the bloody sympathy card because I don't need to. But
it was
like,
shit though.
Yeah, but I was just like it's just not needed.
I also think as well, you were the easy one to blame because you went on there. Luca kissed you. He could have kissed anyone he wanted.
Yeah.
He chose to kiss you. Grace forgive Luca, and like who else could you blame then?
Kaz saying that, like, he was, she openly said when she was in the villa, he was talking to the boys a lot about like, I just I really want Samie to come in, blah, blah. Not that we're bringing this all up again, because you're going to get hate the fact that you're talking about it again, aren't you? But like,
we don't
want that for you. And like, also, like, we just want to say that it actually wasn't anything on your side. Like, you actually didn't do anything wrong, babe.
You didn't, but I think like, the only person who could blame was you.
Yeah.
People were blaming you because they didn't have no one else to blame.
Yeah, I literally didn't really say anything. The people were just saying my name and it was like, okay, fine. Like, even when Kaz was saying that, I weren't saying, yeah, see, you wanted me.
Yeah.
Imagine, I would never ever do that. Because I understand, I'm not silly.
Everyone saying your name.
Oh my God. And even, okay, so when we went back in and we done all that, and my speech, when I sat down and I was like, can I just say, I weren't in control of anything. Like this and that. And I listed all the things, how the only thing I controlled was a snog, marry, pie. And then the response I got was, she's my girl now, I don't care. And I was like, this is not, I get it, I know. I'm just saying that, like, I weren't trying to split yous up. Like, I'm really happy for you. Like, it's fine.
And you actually are genuinely like that as well. I know that you would be happy with her.
Yeah, like, I don't actually want to do that. But
I think if Grace wasn't there, he would go on for you. Like,
but obviously we can sit there and say like the situation has changed. It's what if.
Saying,
everything could be different.
If we had another day, I could have been with Chugs.
Yeah.
Which I hope you would. Do you think they last, Grace and Luca?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. I don't know them too well. Literally in 5 days, I probably had 2 chats with each.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, you don't even know Luca at the same time, do you? Like, you knew each other on social media. You don't actually know.
Oh, yeah,
I didn't know
each other.
I didn't know him at all. And when you speak to someone, you really get like vibes. And like, I go off that a lot. Like, especially when I'm like, if I fancy someone, I'm like, okay, I fancy you. Have you got a vibe? And like, we just didn't vibe in that way. And I was like, oh.
And that's fine as well. I think
that's so fine.
For Love Island, like, if there's a little inch of like something which they can use as a story, they run with it and it goes crazy. I think. And you were the bait in that situation.
Yeah.
Who was the most affectionate on there?
Affectionate?
Yeah, who was the most like, it looked like they'd obsessed with each other?
Curtis and Necken? Or?
No, I would say Samie and Elma.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah. And because Sammy's so big, Elma's so small. Like, not big as in fat, sorry. Sammy's like tall. He's really tall.
Yeah.
He's like 6'5" or something.
Oh,
6'4".
He's that tall?
Yeah. Liam's like, yeah, taller than me. He's like 6'4", I think. And Elma's tiny. So like, he would just like pick her up and she would just be this tiny little thing. And I'd be like, oh, it's really cute, yeah.
Do you regret it at all? Or like,
no, I don't regret it.
Oh, that's good.
I don't regret it.
That's good you're saying that.
No, I don't regret it.
Because even though I know you was involved like in the drama, like you was a big character in there, so at least you're like,
I was in there for like 2 minutes and I come out and I spoke to the producers, they were like, we'll be real, like, yeah, it was short, but bloody hell, you made an impact. I said, what do you mean? What?
Oh, no.
Because when I'm in there, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there. I was like, I haven't spoken like 3 days. What do you mean? He was like, you're going to see when you watch, because you know you have like your press chat and you're like, your downtime with the producers, they just kind of warn you. And I'm like, what has been shown here?
What did press say? Like, was there any bad articles that came out about you, or like, or anything they warned you about?
Not one.
Oh,
not
okay,
one.
that's good.
Really,
Yeah, if we was to redo it, I'm sure it'd be a very different story after that. Yeah, but no, not one. That was before we went back in.
Oh right,
yeah, not one. And then yeah.
Kaz and Montel seemed like quite cozy after like at the final, didn't they?
Yeah.
Were they like together?
I think so.
Oh right.
He doesn't want to say. I'm just being nosy.
No, I don't think they're official boyfriend and girlfriend, but it's only been a few weeks.
Yeah.
In the like the hindsight.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any boyfriend and girlfriend.
Any boyfriend and girlfriend?
Ekin-Su and Curtis.
I can Curtis a boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh, he's been like going with her to all of her work things. Have you
They
seen
are
it? They're
very
so
much
cute.
in love.
That's nice. That's cute.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah, I think Elma and Samie are exclusive. I think that's a bit cringy to say the word exclusive. Like.
I hate that word. I remember on my first time.
We had to say that as well. Like.
They said it in the
We didn't have to say that. We did that openly.
All right, we did it openly. I never knew what exclusive was before. And then I said, oh, are we exclusive now? But then like, and looking back, I wouldn't say, like, people are like, oh my God, we're exclusive. Like,
woo, everyone cheers.
I'm like, cringe. Elma said, we're exclusive. Like,
yeah, but like, is it just a bit more an adult way to say boyfriend and girlfriend? Because I feel like going, do you want my boyfriend?
I don't know. I think it's a bit...
like, I'm literally nearly 30. Do you know what I mean? Like, imagine saying that.
Yeah, definitely.
You say, oh,
but also Samie and Elma, they do Towie together, don't they? So then that could be a nice little storyline for them there.
Oh, they are going to be like the Towie's it couple.
Yeah, they're going to in 7 years' time now.
They're going to last because they work together. He's moving to Essex. Like, it's just all the stars are aligning for them two to be together.
Yeah, but they do say don't work with your partner or with your family.
What is it? Don't shit where you eat.
Don't shit where you eat.
But look
Tried
at you two right now.
Didn't taste nice.
You're working together right now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We always have to like,
it pisses me off.
Before we film a pod, in the morning before we do a podcast, like every week, we say, right, let's not talk.
Let's not talk to each other.
Because
we'll argue.
We might find a way to argue, and then it's like, shit mood end on the pod. Like, it'd be a way, like, I remember we catch train here, and like, I'll say something, Millie, like, and then like, boom, that's it then.
We avoid each other on the train.
Or I'll say like, Millie saying you've been annoying or something, and then like, that's it then. The rest of the day's ruined. So then we've got to fake it on the podcast then, as if like, oh, welcome back. No, we don't. Right, finish off this episode. We're going to have a little bit of a funny sort of game. Snog, marry, kill.
I'm going to say pie then.
And just for the premises, no one dies in the making of this podcast. Okay, Samie.
Yeah.
Snog, marry, kill. Luca, Samie, Ron.
Lucas, Samie, Ron.
Also, did Ron leave before you come in?
Yes.
Oh, he left?
He left that night I came in.
Really? Would they have been there with you and Ron?
No, I'm like best friends with Lana. There's no way. Yeah, and me and him actually hated each other on our season.
Really?
There was clips that then circled round and I realised that.
Yeah, but now we're cool. We saw each other at the final and we were like, oh, this is long.
But if Scott had stayed, it could have gone a little bit different.
Yeah,
I think you would have been Scott's type. You would have been yours. I think that would have been quite nice.
Yeah, Scott's a nice guy.
But Scott, you messed it up, bro. You left.
Scott and Chugs' his fault. We're blaming everyone but me today.
Samie is the angel. None of this is her fault.
Luca, Samie, Ron. Okay, even though I don't want to. Snog Ron.
Yeah.
Marry Samie.
Yeah.
Because I like how you treat someone. He's really sweet.
Yeah.
And kill the last one.
Yeah.
The last one.
For sure.
I've got one for you.
Go on.
Okay. Kaz, Ekin-Su and Grace.
Ooh.
I would snog Ekin-Su, marry Kaz, and kill. Nothing against Grace, by the way. I think she's sound, whatever. I don't know, but I just wouldn't. Yeah, not make up.
She's in a relationship.
She's in a relationship. Yeah.
But so is Ekin-Su.
Yeah. I would kill Grace. I feel awful saying I'd kill Grace. I would just say, I wouldn't snog or marry her. That's the thing.
Fair enough.
So yeah, I think Kaz is cool. I like Kaz.
Right, okay,
Kaz is cool.
Kaz is like fun. I like Kaz.
She's fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Have you met Kaz before?
Yeah, like once or twice. But she seems a good laugh. What have I got for you then?
Yeah.
Okay, snog, marry, kill. Scott, Ronnie, Casey.
Ooh. Maybe I would marry Scott.
Okay.
Snog Ronnie and then kill Casey. Sorry, Casey.
Why would you kill Casey?
Because I met Gabby. Well, I've met Gabby a couple of times, but we had such fun at the Brits, didn't we? I love Gabby so much, and I just wouldn't do that to her. So,
fair enough.
Right, guys, that is it for this episode. Thank you so much for listening.
Make sure you tune into Thursday's episode where we're going to continue the gossip with Samie and we're going to answer all of your listener questions.
Bye.
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 Liam and Millie is a Sony Music Entertainment production.